So yeah, this is an example of woodland art. This is an illustration I just did for CBC. So they asked me to do three illustrations, just that's inspirational for youth. So this one is about language, and you can't really, I'm not sure if you can see the details, but in the sticks, there's Anishinaabe words written in there. So, and the beaver, I think, yeah, we did the beaver last week, or a couple weeks ago, anyways. But yeah, the beaver represents wisdom, and then the other two will be about love and strength. So yeah, so I'm doing three illustrations for them total. So yeah, just a little bit about the art style. You'll see like the heavy black outlines with the like pattern work within the little shapes that the outlines create. And yeah, you can see this one's fairly detailed. There's a lot of different pattern work within the shapes. So it varies quite a bit depending on the artist and the illustration. Sometimes I like to do more detailed work like this. Sometimes I just like to keep it simple. It's depending really on the work or the job, particular job. Um, and yeah, you could even see like I did the cross hatching pattern that we did last week. Um, all right, and yeah, I'll just show you a few more examples here. Just let me pull some stuff up. Uh, illustrations. Uh, yeah. So this is another example. This is similar to what we'll be doing today. It's kind of we'll just be doing the head of the cougar. So this is a little bit has a little 3D effect just because I added the shading in there. But usually with an art traditionally it's not it doesn't have any 3D elements to it. It's usually just traditional or traditionally like two-dimensional in nature. But yeah, and then here's some children's book. So there's a lot of different things you can do with the art style, or what I'm trying to do, anyways, is trying to do as many different things as I can with it. So this is a children's book I've been working on, which will be out next year. And yeah, here's some illustrations I did for a show. This was my first art show, actually. All these blue and blue and pink illustrations. Um, yeah, these ones are just about traditional stories. You'll notice like a lot of artists try to illustrate the traditional stories of their nation. So I've done that quite a bit too. Here's one about Nanabush. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it, and then we'll get started on just drawing the illustration. I'll turn to my document camera, and I got the illustration on my iPad here, so I'll show it to you once I get this set up. Nice wolf. Cool. All right. I'll have to turn it on. All right, it is on. I think it'll switch here in a sec.
Oh, Josh, Carol just said that Drea's wolf is in an art show at her school that you taught her to do.
That's awesome. It's really good. Good to hear. Um, well, I don't know if you could see the best. The screens don't really show up too well on camera, but this is the cougar we'll be drawing. It's fairly detailed, like just the lighting's kind of a bit crazy. But
Maybe if you turn the light off on the document camera, that'll help.
yeah, the light's off right now.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's because the screen's so bright. Maybe if I turn the brightness down. Oh God, still getting used to this. Um, Yeah, this the cougar. It's on my Instagram if you want to look at it and use that as reference. We won't be doing this one's fairly detailed. We won't be doing all the detail. Just I'll try to bring you through the basic steps on how to draw the head and everything. Try to get the outline done at least.
So Josh, the kids have trouble seeing because of the WebEx icons. Are you able to pull your tablet up just a touch? Like up towards you? Perfect. That's great.
All right, so this is the rough sketch I started with, and we could start out by, I guess, drawing this. This one's a little unclean or rough, but yeah, that's the point of a rough sketch. Okay, so I guess yeah, we'll just get started. I'm trying to bring us through it here. We can just keep that on there just for reference if anyone needs it. So I'll just start out with I guess just a shape that's recognizable, and then we could start once we start out with that starting shape, we could use it as reference to start out building the rest of the face. So I guess I'll just start out with the nose. Another good one would be like this eye shape. If you want to start out there, like it really doesn't matter. But we'll just start out with the nose today and just try to get that down. So it's kind of try to just draw a little darker here. Maybe turn the brightness down. So yeah, it's kind of a rectangular shape on the top, and then just sort of has a triangular shape on the bottom. Something like that. It's like Superman's shield or his crest. So from here, yeah, we could just start just drawing in his snout, nose, or not sure what you call this part of his face. It's just two big circles that sort of come down from the bottom. And just like that. Something like that, anyways. I just need to find my eraser, so it'll just be 2 seconds. Yeah, and you could even just like alter the shape just slightly as well, because it's not like perfect. They're not perfect circles. You can just add some just little dents where they need to be. Kind of give it a more natural shape. So yeah, once you got that done, we could start with just the bridge of his nose, which is just a rectangle. It sort of curves slightly to the side. So you see this side, the right side is a little more straight. It almost goes straight vertically and down, and this one has a slight angle to it. And yeah, you'll notice like a sort of negative space here, which is totally fine. This will just be all black in the final illustration. Okay, now we'll just start, we'll just do the eyeball now. And it's just a big oval. You could sort of eyeball where where it ends and just maybe draw a little point there. So we just have a reference. And maybe draw the top of it. And draw the bottom. Adjust the lines as needed. It's not a perfect oval.
I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but Dre's wolf is in an art show at her school that she made with you.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome. Is that going on in the chat? That's really amazing. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, it's great. You guys are enjoying these episodes and learning lots. It's for me, it's a lot of fun teaching. 'Cause I don't really have any experience teaching, but I've noticed I've been getting better and better as time goes on, I think. Um, hopefully, anyways. Yeah, it's always inspiring seeing what you guys come up with and um, just the talent that you guys have, and it's great to be able to just share a little bit about what I do and how I do what I do. So I kind of just myself, and so I'm not really an expert on teaching because I never really learned uh, sort of any techniques from masters or anything. It's just all this is all kind of self-taught, really just from like watching videos on YouTube and sort of emulating my favorite artists and just sort of trying to understand how they do it. So this is definitely a learning experience for me as well. So sorry, I just sort of started drawing in that without thinking. Um, so yeah, I just drew in the other side of his face, which is just kind of, I guess you could call it a half circle. So yeah, it's kind of more circular on the top, and then the line goes sort of straight down on this side here.
And you can't see the chat, but Carol said Dre's teacher said that she was blown away and said that she had a great art teacher.
It's amazing. Thank you. um, yeah, I'm glad you guys are learning lots and you guys are taking something from it. That's awesome. Hey, we could draw his forehead next, which would just be sort of a curve. Crescent shape. half circle, just like that. It doesn't completely attach to this part of his eye or this part of his face. Has about I guess that's like 10 centimeters space, but depending on the size you're drawing, it'll be different. Yeah, just something like that. And connect one here. And another one around here. Yeah, I'm excited to see how these ones turn out because these ones are a little bit more, I guess I'd say a little more advanced. This illustration, it's not as simple as the ones that we've done before. So it'll be really cool to see how these ones turn out. So they'll look awesome. Great, so the ear behind his head, we could start drawing that in. You can barely see it because it's covered by most of his head. So it's just a little triangle that just kind of pops out from just above his forehead. Sort of around there. This one might be a little too centered. Might just be better down here. Even let's make it better. Make it larger if you want. All right. Then we'll do this here over here. So this is yeah, we could do that same thing again where we sort of eyeballed where the ending would be. Sort of around here. Sometimes I like to use my fingers to measure too. So let's be like, I guess illustration would be a bit smaller. Be about like 1.5 fingers, depending on the size of your illustration too, and the size of your fingers. But it'll be different for every drawing. It's just a triangle, a longer triangle. And then, yeah, the bottom of his ear would be just another triangle. Comes down a little bit wider. Is everyone doing all right? Any questions?
Yep, they say yep, and C says she loves drawing now. You've helped people love drawing, which is great. See, you don't need to have a teaching degree to inspire people to learn.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Yeah, well, then we'll just start filling in the side, his cheek here, which is just a bit of another rectangular shape. It kind of comes down like this bottom line. It's curved slightly. You know, we could eyeball this sort of corner here, be about here, and just draw that line. So it's not completely horizontal. It comes down on an angle a bit. And this one sort of almost goes straight up. There's a bit of a curve in it. And we will draw this line, the side of his head. This is a big curve. Sort of just eyeball the end of this line here. Right here. It's going from the bottom of his ear all the way down. It has a curve to it. Comes out slightly. Um, fix this. Yeah, we're halfway done drawing his head. So, oh yeah, we could draw this line in there too, if you want. Somewhere around the middle here. It creates a square. Keeping at the curves here. But yeah, you'll notice like the negative space in between some of the shapes. But you don't really have to worry about this. Will just be filled in with black in the final illustration. Like in these sort of corners here too, like I sort of like to round them off, and then just create that little pocket of negative space between the shapes. All right, so now this part's a little harder. Let's see how we can do it. Would be the best way. You could draw in his bottom jawline, I guess. It just starts from the bottom of the shape. Comes down directly below front cheek here. That's where you want to end the line. So yeah, it's good to use other parts of the illustration while you're drawing as reference. So see, like yeah, this line here ends just right below sort of this circle here, or where the circle ends. So it's good to try to do that so you get all the proportions as close as possible to the drawing. It's not always easy. Sometimes it takes practice, just as most things do. All right. Good job. And let's try to get the shape of the mouth going here. Bottom of the mouth. See it, it'll start like somewhere around this point in his top cheek and come straight down. Just make a point here, somewhere around there, and it's just like that. Maybe the front of his mouth. Yeah, it doesn't come straight across completely vertical. It has a bit of an angle to it. So this will give it that sort of 3D, this sort of slanted angle gives it that 3D look. Yeah, and then yeah, let's just draw in the bottom of his chin here. Bit of a rectangle. Like that. And you can feel it in his jawline. The bottom of his jawline too. Just follows this line here. So we're just going to do the same exact shape of this line. And at the end it just branches out slightly. You can just fill in this line as well. It's just a circle. Half a circle. Alright, now all we have to do is the just his mouth and his eyeballs. Okay, so we'll just leave the teeth till the end, I think, and once we get the shape of the mouth, I'll draw it in. Could fill in all the details afterwards. I always like to leave the details to the end. Just because they're a little bit harder to draw in, and it's better to just get the whole shape of the animal drawn in first. Then you could just draw over top of things with the details, and then erase lines you don't need. So we'll draw on the other side of his jaw here. Comes in about that far, and then just goes sort of up. It's a bit of a triangle sort of shape, curved line, bent line. And there's another, and then that comes down here. That's on the mouth. And this side, just draw this. Just a single line that comes down here. All right, so here we go. And look at his tongue. So, let's just draw in sort of a bit of a oval shape, just to get the shape as close as possible. This tongue will be right sort of in the middle of his mouth, and then you could sort of shape it a little better. There's a line that comes down here that separates, or just separates the tongue in half. And it just has a bit of a curve. Shape it a little bit better. Erase those lines. Sorry, I'm drawing a little hard for it, so it's hard for me to erase. Remember to draw as light as possible. I'm only drawing harder just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Just try to keep it as light as possible when you're at the start of the drawing, so it's easy to erase. Because you're gonna be you'll always be doing a lot of erasing when you're sketching out something. So it takes a lot just to get the shapes right and everything. It'll take a lot of just lots of rough line work that you'll erase quite a bit. If you want to, get it looking exactly the way you really want it. Take a bit of effort and take a lot of erasing. So don't be afraid to use your eraser. You're gonna need it a lot. I use mine quite a bit, probably just as much as my pencil. I think that's pretty much it. Could draw on the back of his mouth. It's just a bit of a circle behind the tongue. Looks good. All right, and then we could just do in his teeth too. So, he's got four big fangs, and then he's got smaller teeth in here too. But in my final illustration, I didn't keep the smaller teeth in there just because kind of created too much, or just made things a little bit too busy in the area. And with this style of drawing, it kind of sometimes it doesn't look that great when there's too much going on, and there's too much like black lines. It's better to keep things as simple as possible. So sometimes you need to just not do certain details. You just gotta sort of figure out what looks best. But yeah, you could draw in his just his four big fangs, which are just really sharp triangles in the bottom of each of these circle here. You could draw it right over the tongue. And you could sort of see that, like, I got my tongue a little bit off center here, just because seeing this one, like the fang sort of comes over the right side of the tongue, and sort of the fang comes down the middle of the tongue on this illustration. So I'm just gonna keep it like that just for now. Best drawn. And trying to make this illustration look the best I wanted it. I had to erase that tongue and draw it in again. But at least now it still looks great. I like it. So we'll just draw on the bottom fangs. Just the same. Triangles on the bottom. Let me just clean this up as best as we can. Yeah, and if you want, you could draw on a smaller teeth too. the top and bottom. If you want. It's up to you. Alright, so now all we gotta do is just his eyeballs. Which will be you start it just with oval shapes sort of in the middle. As close to the middle as this bigger circle as possible. On a slight angle too. And on these two lines that connect it to the end. Shape it a little better. Yeah, and then just the middle of his eye, it's just sort of a circle. You can't see the top of the circle here because the eyelid's covering it. But underneath, if there's no eyelids on his eyeball, it'd make a complete circle all the way around. So if you want, you could draw in. It's easier for you to draw in the whole circle, so you know that the shape is right, and then just erase the top of the line when you're done. We've got a bit of an eyebrow too. That looks kind of good. Yes, fierce mountain lion.
Are there cougars in the mountains in Vancouver, like just outside of Vancouver, Josh?
Yeah, I believe there is. Yeah, I haven't seen any personally, but yeah, there's a few out there. But it's mostly like there's a lot of elk and like caribou and deer, like mainly around the lower mainland there, and there's black bears as well. And then once you get further up north, there's more of the bigger animals, like the grizzly bear and more cougars, mountain lions out there.
And do you have the Anishinaabe word or Ojibwe word for cougar, or maybe Kerrigan can add it for us? She probably already has it written down.
Yeah, I don't have it. Kerrigan, how did it go? I could look it up. I'll look it up online. And then we have a word for lion, which is Mishupishu or Mishibiji. That's the same as what we call the underwater panther, which is a mythological creature. A lion, a panther, a mountain lion. So I guess it's on here. It says it's the same word, Mishabiji or Mishupishu. It's a bunch of different names, different dialects of it.
Josh, I wasn't sure how this would turn out today, because when I started mine, I was very worried. I was like, I don't know if mine's going to look anything like yours, but I'm impressed. You broke it down really well. Thank you. I think the kids I have drawing with me, they did pretty awesome too.
Right on. Yeah, this one's really difficult just because there's just to get like that 3D sort of look, a lot of the lines are on a bit of an angle, and it's kind of makes things a little more challenging, but that's good that we're able to keep up and sort of learn a little more difficult illustrations, which is cool. So I write the word for lion, and it says it's the same for panther and mountain lion here. So it's Mishi, Biji.
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi. So yeah, we have a mythological creature that's sort of it's called the horned panther that lives underwater. So it goes by Mitsubishi as well. And there's this whole underworld. There's stories. And the panther is sort of the leader of the underworld. So this second eye is a little bit harder to draw in, just because you can't really see half of it, and it's sort of hard to get it drawn in and have it look all right. But we'll just sort of draw in the top of the eyeball here, sort of a bit of a curved line. And that would be the and then just so it doesn't look okay. Try to do best you can, I guess. And draw circle. I think mine, I just have to redraw it a little more of a slant. Just that top line. But we could look at the probably a bit better in the actual stage. Yeah, I'm not doing the best here, but you get the idea. It's just half of sometimes I'm very picky. I think I drew my pencil in too hard here, so I can't really erase it, but I'm just gonna have to go with that. Doesn't look the best on mine. It's just sort of difficult to get this sort of eyeball looking great, but it takes some practice. You can only really see half the eyeball. It's just yeah, half sort of half the curve on the top, and then the same thing we did with this eye, but you just can only see half of it. Yeah, it can definitely be hard to just place it in the right spot without knowing. Just because that when on this angle, like that side of the face is just on a bit of an angle too, so on a weird angle. So you gotta sort of slant it just slightly, and I'd probably just like erase a lot, and just work it until I get it looking right. So it looks pretty good though. Shouldn't be complaining too much. All right. So we can, I guess. I don't want to get too much into all this detail. But there's some close-ups. Let's show some close-ups just to show you. Just to show you the different pattern work that you could do. With lots of dots and lots of just circles. And so this is only done with just the black, the yellow, and the white, and then I switch the background to like a reddish color. But I only colored in the white and the gold. But, we could just we'll draw in like the fur. Let's draw on the fur just like around his cheek and then on the bottom of his chin. Just try to make this look as cool as we can. Start off with the ear up here. The couple wavy lines, spikes if you want. Follow them. That. These ones just are a little crazy here. They go in a bunch of different directions. You could try to get as creative as you want with them. For this one, we'll keep it pretty simple, just like bigger sort of wavy lines here. Keep it simple, or if you want to get more detailed with it, you can try to just mix it up, add some variance to it. I like doing a lot. This looks just as cool. And then he has two sets of same shapes, just in the opposite direction. All right. think yeah, the rough sketch didn't have this. There's this triangle shape here. That's just an extra line. Go straight down. And then from here, yeah, we could just start thickening up the line weight. And so yeah, to do that, we just add an extra like emphasizing line. Just on the inside of the line we already have here. Now just go around, try to shape. Give it that heavier line weight. I'm using like this glossy paper too because I didn't have any drawing paper around. You can see when I zoom in. Shine to it. You could go around and do that for every single shape. And then afterwards we can draw in the black. With a marker. You don't have to worry about the teeth because those will be all black. Yes. This whole shape will be all black too. Just behind you.
We can always tell when the kids are busy, Josh, because they're not chatting. Normally they're super, super chatty. So this is like it, they've been, and they had some great sessions today. So there was a lot of questions and comments and inquiry. It was cool.
That's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, drawing's definitely very relaxing once you get in the zone and you just sort of in it. You kind of in this little just focused state. It's like calming and relaxing, peaceful. Yeah, that's basically I keep trying to do this to the page to zoom in. To the screen. Basically, yeah, just run that extra line inside every single sheet. Mine's pretty messy, but no, it's totally fine. Yeah, we could start. Well, we don't really have much time to do the black, but I'm sure y'all know how to do that by now. But we could sort of start drawing in some details too if you want. Just like with the black, thinner black lines, like so like this shape here has like two lines coming up from the nose, sort of like that. And then on his forehead, it has sort of a triangle shape. Comes down. And then another. Went blurry. Sorry. Better. Is better now? Yeah.
That seems good now. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit of a half triangle or half triangle on this one. And his eye. Under his eye, there's a line that curves around, just follows the shape of the eye. There's a bit of a curve to it. So these lines have the thinner weight, so we won't have to do the emphasizing or the second lines around them. So I like to, yeah, just give different line weights to the illustrations sometimes. Just adds a bit more depth to it. Looks cool. But just the outer lines, they always have that heavier weight to them. And then the inner lines, they're usually a little thinner. Sort of. Just sort of, yeah, it's just showing you my process. Like, yeah, when I was doing this illustration, like you'll see in my rough, I just had the outlines done. Yeah, for the rough, I just had the black outlines, and then sort of, I guess, yeah, I'm just at that point where I could just sort of draw in all the details as they come to me. So that's my process. Like I'll rough out the outlines and then fill it in with black, and then for the details, I'll just kind of go with whatever comes to me, and then just sort of fill it in as I go, without sort of thinking about it. Sometimes I take a second to just look at the shape and see what pattern will look best in there. But I just kind of sort of use my intuition, I guess you call it, and then just fill it in the best I can, or fill it in with whatever comes to me, and just sort of go with it.
Well, that's awesome. That's just fantastic, Josh. I think we'll like this. I think you're right. I think the students know what they're doing now, and they have actually this. The orange and black one is on your Instagram, so they can go and take a look if they need some more inspiration. But that was absolutely fantastic. That's a really, really challenging drawing today. And thank you for extending their learning. And the kids were, you're hearing that you're an awesome teacher from art teachers. So that's great. So boys and girls, you know exactly what I'm going to say. We'd love to see. Oh, these are your favorite Connected North classes? Yeah, Gabby, that's awesome. That's a big compliment because you go to a lot of Connected North classes.
Wow.
Yeah, she does. Almost all of them. So we would love to see your artwork so that we can share it with Josh, and also if we can put it in the newsletter without your faces, of course. And next week, I think Josh decided we'll do an orca, which might be a little simpler. And we will connect again next with Josh.